Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic magazine, and of course the Examiner with us today, the master shredder himself, Alex Gutierrez of Mortillery. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Thanks so much.
Now, how are things up in Edmonton?
Well, we're having a pretty good day today. It's nice and hot compared to the usual horrible winters that we get here.
You gotta like that. I tell you, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. I did an interview I guess it was a few months ago now, and I was talking to Joel Grind from Pals and Toxic Holocaust, and I asked him, are there any upcoming bands that I need to be aware of? And you were the first name that came to his lips.
That's great.
Yeah, so when I checked it out, because I'm a Bay Area boy myself, I was there at the height of the thrash movement, and it's great to hear a band coming out of Canada that's got this kind of stuff going on. So I'm really excited for what you guys are doing.
That's awesome. Well, we're really excited too. We don't seem to have too many bands coming out of Canada that are making the name for themselves in the past, but lately, maybe you'll notice other bands out of Toronto and Vancouver that are working really hard to get themselves out there, and people are starting to notice, and we're all very proud.
Right, there's a lot of great stuff starting to come out of Canada these days. Titan's Eve, there's just a bunch of them. So it's great to hear that happening. It's just great to see such a revival of the thrash genre as well.
Yeah, we agree. We definitely appreciate you guys noticing us, and most of the music out here, the metal is getting pretty heavy. It's a lot of death and stuff like that, which we appreciate, but most of us are just like pure thrashers, and that's what we want to play. That's what we want to do. We're very punk influenced, and that's what we're going to keep it.
Nice. So for those who don't know about Mortillery yet, I'm sure they will be, and we're going to try and help with that, but maybe you could, by way of introduction, introduce the other members of the band, tell us a little something interesting about each of them.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of cool because we all come from quite a few different backgrounds. We got Kara on lead vocals, and most of our influences would be something like Judas Priest, Halloween, Exodus, stuff like that. She would, out of all of us, she would probably be the more metalhead, the more that was into specific metal out of all of us. Myself, I play a lot of punk and even rockabilly and stuff like that in my past. I've had many different styles of bands, but this is the one that I feel more comfortable and more like myself in. We got the other guitar player. He's the lead guitarist. His name is also Alex. And he, I guess his background would probably be he's more of a shredder. His solos are just incredible. He listens to a lot of Metallica and a lot of Pantera and stuff like that. But you can also hear some Stevie Ray Vaughan, a lot of blues and his influence too. Who else? We got Miranda on bass. And just a lot like me. She likes a lot of punk rock and stuff like that. I can't really say where her influences come from. Her style is very unique, I guess. She just keeps us really tight. Right. Nothing too crazy with her bass playing and stuff. It just makes sure that she keeps the beat going and keeps us on time. And last but not least, we got Kevin, our drummer. He's more of a rock and roller. He's really into bands like Foo Fighters and stuff like that, a little bit different than what we're used to, but bringing that rock and roll influence to the sound has really completed it all, I believe.
Now, and he's actually your second drummer, right? You originally had Emily. You had 3 females in the band at one point.
When the band first started, Emily was a drummer. We had a really good run with them, but after a while, she was dedicating her time. She's also an artist. She does a lot of paintings and stuff like that.
Nice.
And as the band progressed, she kind of decided to spend a little more time doing that. So we just kind of went our own ways in a really nice way.
And there's a lot more women in metal these days, which is phenomenal. And you see a lot of female-fronted bands and everything, but you really don't see many thrash bands that have a female vocalist. It gives you guys a unique dynamic, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because a lot of the reviews, people are saying that it wasn't until they researched the band that they noticed that there was a girl on vocals. If you're not really paying too much attention, if you just kind of throw on the CD, you probably won't be able to tell. Her growls are amazing. She can hit some deep notes deeper than any of the guys can do, and it's cool. It does make us a little bit more unique when it comes to the thrash genre. You do see female vocals on other sides of the metal, more like power metal and stuff like that. But I guess, yeah, there wasn't too many with doing the thrash.
So tell us a little bit about you. I know you said you had even a little bit of rockabilly in you and everything. I just interviewed John Larson from Volbeat last night. I'm sure they're probably one of the bands you're into.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about how you came to music. Was there an album, a song, a live show you saw or something, and you were just like, this is what I want to do?
Well, as funny as it is, it was Def Leppard. That was the band that made me want to become a rock star, I guess. I was probably about 10 years old. I grew up in El Salvador, a small country in Central America, and they came down there. I went to the show, and I walked out just knowing that when I grew up, that's exactly what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be in a band. I wanted to play guitar, and here I am, living the dream.
Now, how do you end up going from El Salvador to Edmonton, Alberta?
It all started, I guess, like in the late 80s. There was civil war in El Salvador, and my grandma moved to Canada. Edmonton was offering, I guess, refugee status to a lot of people from El Salvador. My grandma was the first one to move in '89, and she made it easier for the rest of us to come up one at a time. First was my grandma, then my cousins, my uncles, and very last was my mom and me. And we came here in 1997, and just been, having a good time. It's definitely much better quality of life up here than it is down there.
Nice. Now, how did you choose guitar as your weapon of destruction?
I guess it would be my cousin. He was living in Mexico at the time, and Mexico has always been a little bit ahead than El Salvador when it comes to the music scene. And he learned to play a lot of Van Halen and Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi, and we used to listen to all that stuff when we were pretty young. So when he came to live with me for a little while, he's always been a little older. He's been 5 years older than me. So he taught me how to play guitar. I've always, kind of idolized him. He's always the cool cousin that you have,
Right.
And he taught me how to play guitar. He got me really into Bon Jovi at an early age. And since then, I just never looked back.
Now, you guys, a lot of the bands that are coming out, especially out of Canada, a lot of these new bands that are coming out are signing with these small labels. You guys got snapped up by Napalm Records. That's pretty impressive. How'd that come about?
It is pretty huge, and we're so excited. It sounds funny, but really all we did is just we recorded the album ourselves, and we make sure that we spent a lot of time in the production value of it. We did a lot of research, and what most of the labels want from bands nowadays, you can't just hand in a 3-song demo and expect them to pay attention to you. Your first album is more likely going to be all done by yourselves, and you got to do a really good job if you really want somebody to pay attention to it. So that's what we did. We saved up our cash and make sure that our production value was as good as we could get it at the time. The songs, we felt they were good. They were catchy. They sounded what we wanted to sound. They had the punk influence that we needed. They had the great vocals that Kara gives us. So we weren't concerned on the music value. We just needed to really make sure that we did something with it that these people would pay attention. So we did. We had a great artist do our cover. Our production value on it was really great, and we just sent the press kit to them. A few months later, they gave us a call, and you can only imagine our excitement when we received that phone call from them. I just couldn't even believe it that they actually, they must receive millions of demos a day, and to go through all that stuff and to actually pay attention to what we did and to like it and to move forward to sign us, that was just amazing for us.
The debut album, Murder, Death, Kill, it comes out sometime this month, right? What's the date we've got on that?
It was released in Europe on June 29th, both on CD, vinyl, and digipack, I believe. And for North America release is July 10th. So that's a couple
Tuesday.
Days.
Yep. I thought it was coming up here shortly. So July 10th, Murder, Death, Kill will be out. And it's really exciting, too, that you guys are releasing it on vinyl as well, because I'm sure, much like me, those early thrash albums and everything, you really wanted them on vinyl to see the big artwork, to hold it and have something tangible.
Exactly. We're huge vinyl collectors, all of us, and all the great thrash bands, whether it's thrash metal or whether it's punk rock, vinyl's always been a huge part of the scene. And when we originally released Murder, Death, Kill, we wanted to do it in vinyl. We just couldn't afford it at the time. And we said, well, let's do CD for now, and keep our fingers crossed and hope that we can get some help to do it on vinyl. And we're so happy that it worked out that way. They're releasing it on 2 different limited edition colors and also just a regular back.
So that's going to be really exciting. also, the album is just phenomenal. I really love it. I've been playing it on our Thrash and Burn show on Metalholic Radio. My favorite song this week, it changes all the time, but it's Fritzl's Cellar. I love that song. But I know that we don't have time to go through every song on the album. Are there 2 or 3 songs on the album that, I mean, they've all got stories and everything, but are there 2 or 3 that have sort of unique stories that go with them, either how they came about or lyrically what you're going for, or, you know?
Yeah, well, definitely Fritzl's Cellar is one that stands out the most, even with the intro and everything. We have 2 types of songs. We have the songs where we're just kind of having some fun and just writing fast thrash metal music, you know, and then we have the songs that we actually pay a little bit more attention to the topic itself. Both Kara, the singer, and I write the lyrics, and you might be able to tell the difference between them. Hers are very researched. She spends a lot of time making sure that what she talks about is very accurate, I guess, and kind of like telling a story. My lyrics are more random. If you hear the song Evil Remains, that's one of the ones I wrote the lyrics for. And it's just a little more random, I guess, more just that old school, fast, evil thrash feel, you know? Mm-hmm. Fritzl's Cellar, though, she did the research on Joseph Fritzl. He was this pretty scary character from Austria, which so happens to be our label from. Maybe they noticed that too. And the story goes that he just did some horrors to his daughter. He locked her up for a bunch of years in his basement cellar and did unspeakable things to her and stuff like that. And Kara was really, you know, I mean, that story was huge in the news, and she was really intrigued by it and wrote an amazing song to it, you know. We had the music written. Usually the way our songwriting goes is that we write all the songs musically, and then she comes in when we do full band practice. She comes in, listens to it, takes it home, does some research on whatever topic she wants to talk about, and slaps lyrics to it. That's how it's worked so far. Not all of them, but most of them. And that's how that one came about, and it's just turned out to be amazing.
Right. Any other ones or anything unusual happen in the studio when you're recording, you know?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because we didn't really have much studio experience before that album. I mean, we've done basement demos and stuff like that, but nothing huge like this, and it's been fun. Terry's the name of our producer and engineer, and he's just amazing to work with. He makes it super easy and really comfortable for us, and he has even helped us, you know, do a little bit of rearrangement if an intro wasn't strong enough or the solo didn't quite fit in too well. He's helped us out, and we're just having a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, as we speak right now, I'm just standing outside the studio. We're recording our second album right now.
That was going to be one of the things I was going to ask you about, because obviously you guys recorded this a while ago, even though it's just now coming out on Napalm. You've already got to have material going and be working on a second album, so we'll probably, obviously you're not going to be releasing it anytime soon with the new one, just the debut coming out, but we might actually get to see one in 2013.
Yeah, well, you know, we're going to see how good Mortillery Skill does. The label told us that if we have enough material, we might as well go into the studio right now and, you know, start getting it recorded. We're going to have definitely more time for this one, you know. Like you said, we recorded Mortillery Skill, I think it was winter of 2010, maybe late 2010, early 2011. So it is only now being released worldwide. So we have time for this one. So we're going to spend some good time making sure that all the songs that go in it are going to be as good as they have to be. And I don't know exactly when they're going to release it, but it's got to be next year or the year after that sometime, I imagine.
Well, we'll hope that we don't have to sit on it for 2 years. It'd be nice if it came out next year. So, but I think once Murder, Death, Kill comes out, you're going to get a great response to it, because it really is a fantastic record. I mean, I know there's a lot of new thrash bands out there, but you guys have an extra something special, and so that's that one thing that you can't create. It has to be there, and you guys seem to have that. So,
exactly, I agree. I think a lot of it has to do with feel. You know, like we feel really strong about it, that our music, we're not really trying. That's the thing about it, is that we're not trying to do anything that is not us. Like, we're not concerned if like are the solos the best solos ever, you know. Like, we're not virtuosos, we're not rock stars, we're not anything like that, right? We just really like this kind of music, and I think you can tell when you hear the songs that it's just us doing what we do, not trying to be anybody else.
That's what it takes. That's how some bands set themselves apart. There's just that certain something. A couple other bands aside from you guys, I'm really big on Havoc. I think they're a great young band. Forearm out of Australia is a great band, and it's just nice to see this breath of fresh air coming out that's really understanding of what it is, and it's not just retread stuff. So a couple more questions before we get out of here. First off, how does the songwriting process work in the band? I mean, do you come up with most of the riffs, or is it a combination of you and Alex? Or
yeah, it's a bit of a combination. I think with Murder This Kill was a lot of me. It was really early, and I mean, we're a really young band, to tell you the truth. I mean, we formed in late 2008. Our first show was with Toxic Holocaust, actually, now that you mentioned that you spoke to Joel. That was our first show, and that was in the summer of 2009. So we've only been around for a couple of years. So when the band first started, it was mostly me and Miranda and Kara with the image of what we wanted to do.
Right.
Both Kevin and Alex joined a little bit later. And so for Murder This Kill, they were kind of just trying to get used to the feel and to see the image of the band and to see where we were going. They did help write some of the songs, but I would say the majority was Miranda, Kara, and I. But this new album, though, it's definitely different. Alex has written at least 4 of the songs that are going to be in it. And when I say written, I say completely, from top to bottom,
wow.
Except lyrics, of course. But and it just depends on where we are. I mean, we all have 9-to-5 jobs too, right? I mean, we wish that we didn't, but we do. So
right.
Depending on how busy we are and what we're doing, if Alex has free time, he would sit with Kevin and just start throwing riffs at each other until they come up with something. And I'll show up. I'll get home from work, and next thing I know, they have a full song written. So we just go with it. And there's never been a time where any of us has written something that somebody else didn't like. I think we've kept absolutely everything that we have written. We might have changed riffs or timings or progressions, but it's been great to work with these guys because you don't even have to worry about it. I know that I can leave, come back, and let them work on a song, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to like it, and everybody's going to dig it. And that's it's really important. I've been in other bands before where that's where a lot of the problems came, the songwriting. Not everybody had the same idea of what the band should sound like or be like, but that's not the case here. We're all in exactly the same page, and that makes it so easy for us to work.
Well, and the other thing you have to think about is you wrote a lot of the first album, so a lot of the feel of who Mortillery is comes from you. So when you add that dynamic of new songwriters who are writing stuff a lot of times without you, how is it going to blend in with what the Mortillery sound is? And it sounds like you guys have already got that locked in, so that's a great thing.
It's great. It seems like these guys, and we all met, Alex and Kevin and the rest of us met each other because of the band. We weren't friends before, which is really odd. All the other bands I've been in before, it's just a bunch of guys, hanging out, and we decided to just start jamming in the basement because we were always together anyways. Not with these guys we met because of the band, and you would think that would cause a little bit of, problem to be awkward or anything like that, but it was just meant to be. I think we were all meant to be in a band together because I've never seen 5 people get together so easily to be able to read each other and understand what we're going for.
Awesome. So last question then before we get out of here, just for fun. Normally I would ask something like, give me your 5 essential thrash albums, but that would be too easy for you. So because I know you listen to so many other things, give us 5 essential albums that you have to have. It can be any genre. It can be all over the place. Well,
okay, definitely the first one, and I'm speaking for me and Alex. The first one for sure is Kill 'Em All. To him and I, that's on top of absolutely everything. Let's not get into what Metallica has done after that or lately or whatever. That's just a whole different conversation. A lot of people would probably choose Master of Puppets instead, but not us. To us, Kill 'Em All is absolutely number one, the top. What else? I really like Flotsam and Jetsam, really early stuff. I believe it's called Doomsday for the Deceiver, or something along those lines. That's always a must. What else here? We got Exciter. That's a great band, and they're from Canada too. We listen to that album over and over and over again. I'm trying to think here. What else? Toxic Holocaust has been a huge influence on us. Overdose of Death. That album is just amazing. I love how he manages to be so specific with his sound and just how he portrays it in his music and how hard he works towards making that sound so specific. And like, I would believe that he's even created a genre. You know, a lot of bands consider themselves to be, you know, toxic metal. You know, it's like a new version of thrash, I guess. And you know, that's always a good thing. What other albums? I can't really think of anything else right now. I wish the other guys were out here with me so they can maybe help me out.
Well, you said
Kevin would probably pick Rush. Kevin's a huge Rush fan. That's all he listens to.
Well, hey, how can you blame him? And
yeah, totally.
I just did an article on the bands that still need to be put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Rush is right up there at the top of the list for me, along with Kiss. So, but
oh, definitely, they deserve it.
So, well, you said you listen to a lot of punk influence stuff too. So, what punk album might you pick to add to that list?
Two of my favorite bands when it comes to punk would be Broken Bones, and I mean they themselves, along with Discharge, have influenced thrash the genre itself. I mean, we wouldn't have Metallica if we didn't have Broken Bones and Discharge, and that's straight up a fact. You know, a lot of metalheads don't really seem to really appreciate what punk has done for the metal genre, and I think it's very important that people recognize that, because it's true, you know. So Broken Bones for sure. Crucifix is a huge influence on me too. Their album called Dehumanization is just amazing. You know, those really fast, short songs that just, they come in, they give you all they got, and they get out of there, right? They're not there to screw around. They just want to show the raw power, and stuff like that really influences us, I think.
Alex Gutierrez of Mortillery, the brand new album Murder, Death, Kill, already out in Europe, will be coming out here in North America this Tuesday, July 10th. Everybody get out there and buy it. You've got to hear it. It's great. You can hear them right here on Metalholic Radio as well. I can't wait for everybody else to get their ears on this stuff, because it's a great album. It really is. And we'll get a chance to do this again. Hopefully you'll get down here to the States and we can actually see you live. So I know it's hard.
That's definitely the next plan. We're going to get this album done in the next month or so, and after that, we just want to tour for as long as we can. So States is definitely going to be a little bit easier than Europe, since you guys are our neighbors just down there.
Absolutely.
But our biggest dream is to go play all the festivals out there too, right? So we're going to do all we can to just hit everywhere.
Excellent. Alex, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Take care.